Pan. Small guy who doesn't get age. To keep youthfulness, people go to gym, exercise, take essential vitamins and supplements, visit dermatologists, keep a healthy diet, and they do all this to keep an arm's length distance from aging. My brothers, are we afraid of aging? No. Thank you so much, Father. Is it the fear of being vulnerable, weak and helpless? Seeing yourself with a cane walking, Father, excuse me, and being assisted. You know, I have wanted to, you're next to me. I wanted to help you lift you up, but no. Is it the fear of being lonely and alone in the conversation? So, or because the young and the adults are always on the go and busy, attending to the ministry, and you are there alone. Is it the fear of being useless, forgotten, or sick? Or fear of death? Because as we all know, death is not chronological. It can come anytime. There is a Japanese movie entitled Owata Hito. Owata is the past participle of Owaru, means end. Hito is man or human being. When you put these two words together, it really means end of man or death. Dead man. But I think the English subtitle or the title is more appropriate description of the message. It means life in overtime. I think that's a good translation. And that is the movie all about. There is life after retirement. Thanks be to God, for us Christians, there's no retirement after. So the movie begins with the man is saying goodbye to his companions because he has already reached retirement age. So his companions in the office gave him a party. And he said to his companions, all of you are saying, wishing me good luck, and you are happy for me. But I'm not the only one. And the only one who is not happy because the party that you are giving to me is like, I am already celebrating my funeral mass or funeral. But that is the scripture. Everything ends because I'm retired. As the movie goes, the main character, the lead character, shows that there is life after retirement. You know, aging is a special period of life. Of course, I haven't experienced that yet, but I know aging. This is a reflection from my experiences with the sisters. But with it come all the fears and worries. To live aging well, our elderly brothers and sisters need to discover its purpose and let go of the Peter Pan syndrome that virus. For forever young. And that's the theme of multivitamins, forever young. That is pure fantasy. And not to mention very expensive. It is in discovering the purpose that they see the beauty of aging as well as enjoying its stage. What is the purpose of aging? There is a reason for old age. There is an intention built in every stage of life. And I would always say that there is joy in every stage of life. Infancy, childhood, puberty, young adults, adult, mature adult, and the second or third stage of life. Sorry. I'm so carried. Even in old age, they will still produce fruit. They will remain vital and green. Pardon me. Somebody is telling me, oh, Father, okay, aging in society, why do we delay? Okay, this is over.
Okay. Pass.
Almost itching.
Yes! Okay, you can be. The purpose of aging. As I've said, it's the what that you know, it's not the end of everything. It seems the end because he's already out of office. He has a new schedule. But you only discover that there is something more. And there is a purpose for aging. And you have to discover that. Joubert says, the evening of a well-spent life brings it lump with it. He is a French moralist. There is this myth that cornbirds to sing its most beautiful song just before it dies. Also the nightingale, the swan. These are all myths, legends. But it's just what these are trying to say is that there is beauty, that there is joy. So, allow me to present to you the gifts of aging. My venerables, please correct me. The first is second conversion. This is not about morals, about faith, but it's about discovering a second career or second. Because all of us are searching for a place in this world. And even the old age have wanting to contribute to do something or donate to the world, to the community. And that is the second conversion. Older people still want to accomplish and achieve something in life. And they feel good about themselves, but it would remain as it is, feeling good. Let me be concrete. Let me give you the example of Vincent. In the last weeks of Vincent's life, around 1655 to 1660, old age took a toll on his fragile body. But it did not make him ineffective. Aware of the time of his departure would come anytime or soon, he kept his focus on seeing his legacy, his works, would continue and grow. And so his work was merely, as I've said, is tying the knots. Vincent obtained the pontifical approval of the vows of the Congregation of the Mission in 1655. The printing and distribution of the common rules of the seal happened in May 17, 1658. The second episcopal approval of the charity came out in 1655. He attempted to obtain the pontifical approval in 1659. The integration of St. Lazare to the CN and the brief alias Nos concerning the vow of poverty was established in 1659. Before accepting St. Lazare, he consulted his spiritual directors. One of them is Alain. Vincent did not stop writing letters and composing conferences to missionaries and the daughters of charity. Visible in these conferences are his rich experiences and solid virtues, spirituality, wisdom. And one of his letters was addressed to the husband of Madame de Gondi and Cardinal de Retz. Here Vincent expressed his earnest gratitude for all the help he received from the family of Gondi. And for him, it might be his unfinished business because he already reached old age. And he promised that he would pray for them as long as he is here. So about achievement, or doing something for other people. So when our venerables would like to celebrate Mass, allow them. Second, it's about losing and finding. The second gift. Losing and finding is about some good things never last, no matter how much we try to keep them and hold them. It's about that there is an expiration in everything. All things are passing and temporary, as Ecclesiastes would say. There's a time for building and there's a time for tearing down. There's a time for sowing and there's a time for reaping. Let me be personal on this, my dear brothers. When I was the provincial director of the Daughters of Charity, I enjoyed so much perks. There's perks in the office. Whenever I would travel, I have a driver, or the sisters would meet me at the airport and bring me again to the airport. I would always have the best room. And the sisters would always give me the best seat. And I always have gifts, and they always gifts. But I have to tell myself, the sisters are doing this not because you are 30. They are doing this because of your office. And time will come that your office will be taken away from you. It is not permanent. It will be passed on to the next guy. And you will experience how the reality will be. So, Father Jerry came, and the office was given to him. No longer the sisters would sit at the airport. The sister would no longer give me the best rooms and the best seats when I am around. But the friendship is still there, the love and the care. Let me share this with you from my favorite writer, Ronald Rolheiser. Perhaps the reality that is hardest of all to accept in life is the unalterable fact that everything that is precious to us will in one way eventually be taken away. Right? our health, our office, our possessions, our friends, and even our life. Next, try to look at this, my dear brothers. From the shift, youthfulness when we were young, but as we grow old, we gain a lot of wisdom and experience. Are you willing to trade your youthfulness to wisdom and experience? Physical dimension, diminishment. But the invitation is to grow in spirituality. To go deep, not superficial. That's the invitation that us. We experience losing our senses. But the invitation is to go down, to go deep. Careers, jobs, and responsibility, it will be taken away from us. But the second conversion is a challenge to discover. There is a saying that you cannot teach old dogs new tricks. That is not true. Friends and relatives became new friends, but now they are in heaven, right? With the passing of time. There's life to life hereafter. When we were young, time for others. Now it's when you're old, it's time for yourself, by yourself, to be with yourself and God time. Try to see. The third gift. Not 30, but third gift. The gift of forgiveness and reconciliation. Let me read this to you. Old age is a grace from God. One of the gifts of aging is time. With it, God is giving us time to finish whatever we need to finish before the right time. That is unfinished business. So that when it comes or it happens, we no longer have unfinished business on earth. This unfinished business could be a mission, unresolved conflict or hurt, mistake done in the past that we want to rewrite, change, unconfessed sin, regret needing to be resolved. May I invite you to go back to the story I shared this morning and to the experience of that sick man whom Vincent attended to before his passing. Those are unfinished business. Being free from heavy responsibility. Major tasks are already off your shoulders. Old people have so much time for themselves and by themselves. They have time for reflection and are free to spend time for their hobbies. When they were young, mostly their time was spent doing things for others and had little time for themselves. With the gift of age, they could spend time doing their favorite things. My favorite things. Like the old and fragile Vincent. all people are invited or should look back, reflect. They have to find themselves rethinking, reflecting their past experiences, past relationship, the choices they made in life, what they have done and what not have done, and the decisions made. But when they look back, reflect, they ought to draw new meaning, new rereading, relearning from the experience, not blaming themselves. So stop blaming for the wrong decisions or failures made. This looking back is done in the atmosphere of faith, in silence. They look back to the past with an open heart, with a new eye. The aim is to understand the experience of God. They want to know more, to discover new meaning. And they should be open to accept whatever or whoever will appear before them in silence, or that God sent to them while in solitude. But you know, my brothers, this is a painful process, especially when we are not open, because the tendency is to run away. But when we are open, healing happens. And so it's no wonder in prayer and serenity becomes a gift. They mellow, right, Father? They become vulnerable, at peace, comfortable, not grumpy. And that's aging gracefully. Let me be concrete. Allow me to share this with you. This is not my personal experience, but an experience of a Jesuit who celebrated her goals of a Diamond Jubilee. So the community celebrated his anniversary. Imagine a milestone in life, 70. So the MCs pressed him to say something at the end of the program. So the elderly priest hobbled to the podium. So it wasn't easy for him to go up and take the microphone and speak. So mentioning that he had only 2 words to say to sum up his life. And this is what he said. Thank you, thank you. You may think he lived a simple and quiet life. But you know, far from true. When he was young, a seminarian, he witnessed the atrocity of the Japanese occupation in the Philippines. As a young priest, he battled with alcoholism and depression. In this prime life, he experienced opposition of his colleagues to a new program he introduced into his field. In the twilight of his life, he is bravely surrendering to the debilitating effects of aging. Yet, look his word to his community and to the people who attended his party. He summed up his life with the words, thank you, thank you. May I invite you, my dear brothers, to go back to the last days or months of St. Louis Dinania. One of her biographers described their life, that gratitude. How could she be grateful for all her worries, pains, and rejection in life? How that elderly priest to be profoundly grateful for the gift of life. And what is gratitude? Gratitude is recognizing care, right? You see a gift, and so you express your gratitude. According to Morris West, gratitude comes along with forgiveness. It means saying goodbye. Sorry. Okay. It's about saying goodbye to the past hurts and bitterness. To be grateful is to be forgiving. That old priest, his life is stained with scars and wounds. We're all, and also St. Luis de Manila. They had suffered so much, and yet is so grateful. This taught me one valuable lesson. That grateful people are those who found God amidst pains, suffering, and struggles. Because she was able to connect the dots of her life. And connecting those dots are not easy, painful. But when you are able to connect the dots, you will discover meaning and you will be grateful. No matter how painful the process is. It's like you are picking up the broken pieces of your life. That you get hurt and wounded and you see blood. Without elderly priest, without the elderly priest can celebrate. No wonder the elderly priest is grateful to God and his community. That is forgiveness. Sister Jo Anchi's sister shared these two beautiful reminders to us. A burden of these years is that we run the risk of allowing ourselves to be choked by the struggles of the past. Meaning living in the past. When I was young, when I was in this office, when I was doing all these things, past. A blessing of this year is the ability to see. They can see. A blessing of this year is the ability to see that life does not have to be perfect. It only needs to be forgiving and forgiven. Okay. To be forgiving and forgiven. This morning I spoke about forgiveness. I said it's about restoration. It's about healing. And those who can forgive, they manifest. People can see the divine in them. Forgiveness is the measure of the divine in us. It's only Jesus who, among all the founders of religion, who insists to be forgiven and instructs his followers to be forgiven. And as a conclusion, my dear brothers, the challenge to all of us is to see that every season of life has a gift, whatever stage we are in. If you're still infant, go. There is joy. If you think you're still in the you're a young adult, there's joy. If you are a mature adult, then there's joy. And our task is to discover it for ourselves. We owe it to ourselves. That's my conclusion. And finally, let me express my gratitude. Gratitude is recognizing and appreciating the gift received from the hands of others. So the gift that you have given to me is your presence and your listening ear. And the warmth and friendship we have established. So to all of you, thank you so much for being always attentive and participative. Thank you so much. And the opportunity to be your teacher this year.
Thank you very much for the conference and accompaniment, your smile, your being with us. Thank you. Thank
Salamat po.
You want to say something?
Great.
Maraming salamat po.
Okay, we will have mass at 5 o'clock. 我们的弥撒是下午5点。兄弟们有跟我们在一起。
我们要坐怎么前面或是左边？我们
随便。
修行
是随便，
是吗？还是随便吗？
没问题，
都可以。
没有分类。
现在跟我们已经结束了一样。
然后兄弟也跟我们一起今天晚上的happy hour。
Holy hour.
Happy hour. Happy hour. This.
T-shirt.
Copy.
Huh?
In front of the museum, in the basement.
Thank you, sir.